Hey everyone, my name is Joe, and I am one of the co-creators of Edia. Edia is a completely free website, no strings attached, no ads, no selling user data, nothing like that. A completely free website that my friends and I built a few months ago to help high school math teachers create and auto-grade digital assignments. There's a lot here that I'd like to show you today, and I'm really thrilled that we can help you out. So to get started, the core idea of Edia is that you can create a digital assignment in a minute, and you can customize it so that it works for homework, for quizzes, for warm-ups, for anything that you need, and that it auto-grades itself so that you don't have to spend hours grading homework, and that students can automatically see how they did, what they did after each problem. So to start, let's just go ahead and press the Create Assignment button. And what you'll notice, there's two steps. Step one is you choose a problem set, and then step two is you customize it. So in this first step, you'll notice that we're on Algebra 1 right now, and we have a bunch of different units. These units cover everything on the Common Core State Standards, and within them you'll see, there's about 80 to 100 lessons for Algebra 1. So there's a lot here. We also have Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and Pre-Algebra, and then we're working on Geometry as well. So lots of courses. But how you get started with this is you look around and you find ones that you want to, you find lessons that you want to assign to your students. So if you wanted to assign to your students a question about, let's do linear equations, and let's do one-step and two-step linear equations. So maybe you have a unit on linear equations, you want to assign homework, and so you would just select these two lessons. And what you'll notice is that when you select them on the right-hand side, we now have these example questions. How Edia works is we actually generate questions from scratch. And so each student gets assigned completely unique questions. They all look the same, right? They're all still solving one-step linear equations, but actually every student's going to get different numbers so that they can't cheat or share amongst each other. And so you aren't seeing exactly what your students will see, but it's going to be pretty close. It's going to be representative of what their assignment will look like. And next to each lesson, you'll notice a blue Customize button. This is pretty cool. If you click on it, what you'll notice is that we have 4 different question types, or several different question types for each lesson. And so what you can do, and these are selectable, so what you can do is you can remove them if you don't want to show your students those types of questions. So if you only wanted to show your students one-step linear equations that look like this form, a equals x plus b, you can actually do that. And if you want to include more, you can do that too. So it's very customizable, and it should work for any sort of assignment that you need. So that's the first step. Just select the lessons that you want and customize them to remove question types that you may or may not need. When you're done with that, just press next. And this is the second step, the customize step. So you can choose the name of your assignment. We could call it homework 1, linear equations. You can assign it to your different classes. So here we could assign it to Algebra 1 demo class. You can choose when to post it and when it's due. So we could set it due to Friday, and we could set it due at like midnight on Friday. We can post it today immediately, or we can post it on Tuesday, any sort of time. And then this is pretty cool. So I'll get to assignment format in a minute. You can also customize the number of questions that you want. So you can actually do up to 50. 50 is probably too many, but just to show you immediately, we're generating 50 unique questions for every single student. There's basically an infinite number of practice that you can have, but let's just lower it back to 5, a more reasonable number. And what I want to show you with assignment format here is we actually have 3 different types of assignment formats on Edia. You can have your assignment as complete all questions, which is kind of the standard, right? It's like I assign my student 8 questions, and they have to actually complete all 8 questions. And if they get 6 out of 8, that's their score. So that's the default, that's the standard one. We also have 2 other options though. They are correct answers, which is your students keep going until they get 8 questions correct. So it might take them 20 questions, but as long as they get 8 correct, they get full credit. And a lot of our students really like that. A lot of our teachers really like that as well. And then the final one is streak. And that's like a more difficult one. It's basically you have to get, for instance, if we did streak here, you'd have to get 5 correct in a row and then 3 correct in a row. And so you have to get 8 questions correct, but like in a row. So it's much more challenging, but it's like a mastery learning approach. So for here, let's just go with complete all questions. And that's it. If you feel good about this, then you can just press create, and your assignment gets created. It gets scheduled for tomorrow, and it'll be due on Friday. Pretty cool, right? So if you want to actually see what the assignment looks like, click into it again, and go down here to this button called Try Assignment. And this will show you what your students are going to see. This is the exact same interface as your students. So let's press Let's Go. And here we are. The first question, solve the equation for k, where -6 equals 8k. So k in this case equals -3/4. Check. Yep, and so again, edia, we auto grade every question for you. So the teacher, you don't have to spend hours grading homework. We will do that automatically. But even better, from the student perspective, is the student gets to see how they did right away. And so they get to see, did I get that concept? Did I miss it? And then below each question, we actually have a step-by-step explanation for how to solve that question. And the goal here is really to remove a lot of that frustration, right? When you spend hours working on homework and it doesn't make sense, you don't know what you're doing. We at least hope to help help remove that. So anyways, let's go to the next problem here. M equals -8. Boom. And so we don't have to do all of these. You can get a sense. Up here is a skip button that's only available for teachers. Don't worry, your students do not have that. It just makes it easy to be able to check out the assignment without actually doing it all every single time. So we can just skip ahead. Yeah, you can skip ahead, and that's what your assignments will look like. It's really simple, really easy to use. The other thing I want to show you here, there's 2 other things I want to show you here for grades and assignments. We have this thing you might have noticed called More Options, and if you click on it, what you'll see is that we actually have 5 different types of options for your assignments that you can customize. So by default, options allow late submissions. That means that students can submit their homework even if it's past the due date. You as a teacher, you will see that they submitted it late. So you'll still see it. You can still choose whether or not you want to accept it. And of course, you can turn that off. But we find that almost everyone keeps it on. It's just kind of a more compassionate thing to do, but up to you. Below that, we have the option to allow students to retry the assignment. It is what it sounds like. It basically allows students to try the assignment as many times as they want or can before the due date it expires. So if it's due on Friday, the student can work on it 5-6 times, and each time they will get similar but different questions. So they can't just memorize the answers. It's like giving them a completely new homework assignment if they want, and if they want to improve their grade. And that's, again, very popular. Below that, we have an option to give all students identical assignments. That's great for like quizzes where you want everyone to get the same thing, or you want it to be super fair. No even room for anyone to complain. Or if you want to like have homework or warm up and then go over it together in class, in order, you need everyone to have the same questions in order to go over it in class. And finally, my favorite one is the anti-cheating features. So you might have heard about these apps called PhotoMath or Mathways or Chegg, and they're really crazy. What they allow students to do is take a photo of their math homework, and then like instantaneously, these apps will solve the problem for the student. and give them step-by-step explanations on how to solve it. So it's pretty crazy. It's super popular, millions of downloads. Students are using it to cheat and so forth. And so what we did is we figured out a way to thwart all of these photo-based math apps, PhotoMath, Mathways, etc. And how we did it is you'll notice that a lot of math in especially algebra, but a lot of math uses Roman alphabet characters, right? So like B, Y, Z, N, A, right? And as they use these Roman alphabet characters as variables. Well, what we found out is that PhotoMath and Mathways are only able to detect Roman alphabet characters. And so what we did is if you enable anti-cheating features, what we will do is we will swap those Roman alphabet characters with Greek letters, which means that it doesn't change the nature of the problem, right? It's still a one-step linear equation, but now PhotoMath and Mathways can't actually understand this thing. They don't know how to solve it. It completely confuses them. So I really love this feature. It's probably our most popular, and it just helps prevent students from cheating. Lastly, we have a time limit here. So if you want, you could set your assignment for due like 25 minutes. It's great for quizzes or warm ups and so forth. If you want to add more, you can always press update. And yeah, really simple to use. The last two things I want to show you the grade sheet, and I want to show you how to set up your class. So if we go here to a demo assignment I've already created, and we go, there's two tabs. There's a settings tab, which is where you can update stuff, and there's a grades tab. If you go to the grades tab, you'll see a log of all of your students' answers and their summary, like how they did. So you have their grade, their progress, whether it was done on time, whether it was late, when it was submitted, how long it took them, all sorts of stuff. And then on the right-hand side here, you have a list of the questions they got and the answers that they submitted, whether they were right or wrong. So here, the student got 100%. They got all 4 of the questions correct. Down here, though, the student missed 2 of them. And so you can actually see what 2 did they miss, and what they put instead. You can also see that the student didn't do their work. And so there's no like, hey, I submitted it, you didn't get it, that's kind of a tech problem. None of that. You can actually see, hey, you never even opened the assignment, we're on to you. So just kind of helpful. To set up your class, you just go to the classes page, and there's 3 options. So the first, and by far the most popular, is to sync with Google Classroom. So if you are a teacher who has Google Classroom, this is what we recommend. You just press this button and press sync with Google Classroom, and we will import all of your classes and all of your students from Google Classroom into edia. It's very simple, very easy to use. And if you enable this thing called auto post assignments, every time you create an assignment on edia, we will actually auto post that to your Google Classroom classes as a link. And when your students click on the link, they just need to sign in with their Google account, and they'll be good to go. They can work on it right away. So very, very, very convenient. We'll actually also sync the grades on edia to Google Classroom, so you don't even have to transfer them. By far, the easiest way to set up edia. It's literally, the click of a button. We also have a similar thing with Clever. So if you use Clever, you can just press sync with Clever. It will take you to that Clever login. And from there, you can import your classes and your students. Also very straightforward. If you don't have Google and you don't have Clever, don't worry. You can still use edia. It's still great. Just press create new, and you'll be able to manually change everything. So you could type in, algebra 2, period 6, and press create. And from there, just click into it. Down here, we have this thing called copy link or copy invite link. You just click it and you share it with your students. What it looks like is it's basically just a way for them to sign up. So, once they do it, they'll just automatically be enrolled in your class, and they'll be able to work on your assignments. It's also pretty straightforward, but I recommend the Google or the Clever integration if you can. All right, everyone. That's it. That's Edia. We are constantly working on new features, new things. So, if you like it, give it a try. If you have any questions, please email me, or you can go up here and press contact us and just share your thoughts. That'll send it to the whole group, my friends and I. And yeah, we love hearing from you, and we're just so excited and so thrilled to be able to create something that can be useful right now. It's such a stressful time. You all are just truly amazing for the work you do. So thank you very much.